So yoga blocks are always an option if you'd like them. They're not absolutely necessary. When we do yin, sometimes it's nice to have a little extra support or a blanket under the knees, depending on whatever is going on with you and your body. So do what feels good for you. Always an option, but not necessary. So let's start in Supta Baddha Konasana, where you'll be laying on your back and your knees will be flayed out with your feet together like a butterfly pose. So reclined cobbler's pose. And I want you to put your right hand on your low belly and the left hand will go over the heart. We're going to start out with a little breath work to settle into our space and just get into the moment. Feel the energy you bring in with you at this moment so we can compare it to the energy you leave with after the class. What we're working toward is feeling very refreshed, very calm, very peaceful by the end of this class. I want you to concentrate on letting go of anything you don't need, anything that's not serving you. Whether this is emotional, physical, mental, anything that you're bringing to class that you don't want, let's leave that behind. Things that don't serve us don't need to come with us. As you're lying here, eyes are gently closed. Your eyes are just resting in their sockets. Continuing to breathe, take note of how your breath feels at this moment. With your hand on the low belly, feel the rise and feel the fall. Is that breath heavy? Is it light? As the knees are open wide, you're feeling the hips begin to open inside the joints. When you do take breaths in, breathe in through the nose and seal the lips as you inhale. And on every exhale, split the lips and let the air come out through the mouth. Maybe tuck your chin slightly. That's going to help elongate your cervical spine to the neck. If this is too intense on your hips, you can kind of push your feet away slightly. It's going to take that intensity away a little more. If you want even more, bring the heels in with your feet together, still a little closer to yourself. You're slowly feeling everything open in the hips. You're feeling clarity come through the mind as you concentrate on the space you're in. Notice how the rise and fall feels as we're gently coaxing ourselves into a state of relaxation. Notice if you're pressing your tongue to the back of your teeth or the roof of your mouth. Allow your tongue to relax and just float. Notice if your jaw is clenching your teeth together. Release and let go. Are you scrunching your eyes so the space between the eyebrows coming together? Release your face. Together, let's take a few breaths, exhaling out everything through the mouth. Seal your lips and begin to inhale gently through the nose. As you take this nice inhale, we do it together and fill up. Let the belly expand, let the chest expand. Hold it at the top. Open the lips, exhale through the mouth, let it go. Let's do that again, seal the lips. Begin to inhale through the nose. Fill up, expand, make space. Hold it. When you're ready, open the lips. Exhale, release. Good. You can leave the eyes closed or gently open them, up to you. But take your hands to the outside of the legs or knees and slowly close your legs together like a book. Feet are flat, knees are bent. Keep the left foot on the floor around your mat and bring the right knee into your chest. Bring it right toward the armpit so it kind of grazes alongside of your rib cage. Roll out your right ankle one way and then the other. Squeeze it in nice and tight. Try not to let the left hip or left shoulder come up. Your head is still resting on the mat. Squeeze one more time. Bring your right foot to rest. Right knee is bent. This time left knee comes in. Same thing. Grab for the front of the shin or behind the thigh. Pull that knee in towards your armpit. Let it graze the side of your rib cage and squeeze. Keep your hips rolling down, tailbone rolling down. Roll out your ankle one way and then the other, getting out those snap crackle pops. Squeeze one more time in, keeping the back of the head down. Rest both feet, knees are still bent. Now bring both knees in at the same time. Full wind relief pose, bringing both knees in towards your armpits. Let your ankles and feet just relax as you squeeze in. Keep your head on the back, or your back of your head on the mat. From here, maybe you start to rock left to right. Give yourself a little low back massage. Try and keep that flat part of the low back on your sacrum. Keep it on the mat. Feel a nice massage. Good. Now parallel your shins and bend your knees 90 degrees. Parallel your shins with the ceiling. Squeeze the knees together. Tee your arms out to the side. Take a breath in. Keep your legs squeezing together, and on the exhale, let them fall over to the left. Come to your left hip. The right shoulder stays rolling down, gaze to the right. Supine twist, knees are bent. You can flex the feet, try and keep the knees stacked over one another. Feel that nice supine twist to the spine. Opening the spine, awakening the spine. Your gaze is over to the right. Breathe. If you want to take this a little further, you can straighten the top leg and grab for it with the left hand. That's just the next level. If you'd like a little more opening through your IT band on the outside of the right hip. The left knee is still bent. Gaze is still off to the right. If the right leg is straight, go ahead and stack it back onto the left knee. Try and keep your arms out to a T and use your oblique muscles and come back to center. Lift your knees, come back to center. 90-degree bend. Shins are parallel with the ceiling and the mat. On your next exhale, let them fall over to the right. Same thing. Let gravity pull on you. Maybe you get a little crack in your back. Gazes to the left. Doing the same thing here. Try not to let the left shoulder come up as the knees come down. Try and keep the knees stacked on top of one another. And if you want to go to that next level, take your right hand, grab for that left foot and straighten the left leg. Feel that IT band stretch. Nice awakening through the outside of the hips. In our supine Supta Baddha Konasana, we are opening the interior, the internal hip, and getting an external rotation. Here we're opening that iliotibial band that runs the outside of the left hip down to the knee. Take another deep breath in here. Twist a little deeper if you have space to do so. Exhaling it out. If you've got your left foot grasped, go ahead and release it, stack the knees. Again, gaze goes up. Try and use the obliques. Come back to center. Bring your knees to center. Wrap around your front of your shins and the back of your thighs and rock left to right. Moving into a happy baby for a moment. Grab the bottom of your feet. Keep the back of your head on the mat. If the feet aren't reachable, grab for the ankles or the back of the thighs. Pull your navel down. Pull and roll your tailbone down towards the mat. Again, keep the chin tucked as the head's on the mat, protecting the spine. Maybe you rock left to right, happy baby. Maybe you straighten one leg then the other, getting opening through the body, through the thighs. The hamstrings are opening. Feel what is in your body, what is tight, what you need to let go of. Our bodies physically will tell us things that we're sometimes holding emotionally. In our hips, we tend to hold a lot. In our shoulders, we tend to hold a lot. We don't realize it until we get into these postures. Release your feet, ankles, or legs. Hug the knees back in. Then bring your feet back to the mat, flat, knees are bent. Moving into bridge pose, option for supported bridge. You're welcome to use a blocker or pillow here, but not necessary. let's start out with our first bridge pose. Bring your hands in front by your sides, palms down. Try and get your heels a little closer to your glutes, almost so your fingertips are tickling back the heels, but don't quite reach. Keep your knees closer together. Chin is tucked tight. Take an inhale. On the exhale, lift the hips high. Come to the tops of the shoulders and really lift, squeeze, and push through the heels. Maybe you even lift the toes off the mat so the weight of the body is in the heels. Chin is tucked, protecting the neck. Breathe here, holding that, feeling the quads light up. You can clench through the glutes if you want to get a little more, or just work through the quads and let the glutes relax. Two options there, depending on what you want. As you're here, your palms are down and flat. Take 2 more breaths in this posture. Really lift the hips high. We want to be off the mat here. Keep that chin tucked in. Easy for me to say. And on that last exhale, come back down, release. Give yourself a moment. Find broken bridge. Take your feet to the outer edge of the mat. Let the knees fall in toward one another. Hold here. Good, we're gonna do this again, adding on. Again, I'll show you an option now if you wanna do supported. Keep your hands where they are, palms are facing down for now. Take a breath in. And on the exhale, lift the hips high. If you want, you can use this block and put it underneath of the hips, whichever level you'd like, and find just a resting pose here. Completely up to you. If you want to keep going here, go ahead, take your arms and just lift them overhead. Now the palms face up, arms are long as if you're reaching to the top of the mat. Again, if you want to try and lift the toes, the balls of the feet off, press through your heels, press the hips high. Don't forget to breathe in this space. Sometimes we hold our breath during tension poses. And all we're doing is building up that tension in our body rather than releasing it. 2 more breaths in this space. Really reach. If your arms are up over your head, reach for the top of the mat. Press a little higher. And exhale, come down or remove the block if it's under your hips. Bring your arms back. This time, bring your knees in. Squeeze them in. Rock left to right. Good. Give yourself a little massage if you want to find that happy baby. Again, you can. Just giving your body that rest and relaxation. Hug the knees back in. Rock and roll along your spine 3 or 4 times, aligning the spine. Feeling good. And come all the way up and meet me in a seated position. Once you're seated, you're going to take your legs. I'll give you options here. Cross the left over the right, finding cow face pose. So take this knee and cross it over top of the other knee. So then bring your heels in towards your sides of your hips. If this is too much, simply do cross-legged. Either one will work. Cow face pose is going to give you a little deeper stretch if your body will go into that space. Sit up nice and tall. Grab for the tops of your feet. Take a breath in. On the exhale, fold forward if you can. Only go as far as what feels good in your body. You're going to really open up the iliotibial bands. As you press forward, try and keep the hip on the mat. Your right glute is down, so try not to let that lift. Pull the head forward. Go as deep as you can. Your torso could be resting on the left thigh. Breathe. Cow face pose is such a nice opener for the outer thighs. On your next inhale, come back up. Sit up nice and tall. And on the exhale, fold 1 more time. See if you can go a little deeper than you were. I like to keep my hands on the tops of my feet just to pull them down and press them toward the earth. Maybe straighten your arms as you press your feet away. Just keeps everything in alignment, keeps my spine in alignment, my arms get a little work. On your next inhale, come back up. Bring the legs out in front of you and just switch. This time, right leg goes over the left, tuck the heels in. Good. Coming here, same thing. Now I want you to notice when we do things on one side and then the other, notice which side maybe feels tighter, which side has more opening. Take a breath in. Sit up nice and tall, grab for the tops of the feet and exhale. Fold as deep as you're able. coming forward and releasing and relaxing. Maybe straighten your arms slightly. Keep that left glute on the mat. It may want to rise as you come forward. Keeping your glutes down is going to help you get a deeper stretch through your iliotibials. Another breath here. Stay fully for your exhale. Inhale, come back up. Sit up nice and tall, reset. Exhale, forward, fold down. Notice how you're feeling. Are things opening? Are things releasing? Is tension melting away? Anything that's coming up for you, allow it to come in, acknowledge it, allow it to pass. Inhale, come back up. Good. Unwind your legs. Go ahead and come forward. Cross the legs, come behind you, come to all fours. Now that we're in all fours, palms are nice and wide. Knees are underneath the hips. Wrists are underneath the shoulders. Palms are nice and wide. Find a neutral spine. Pull your navel into the spine. Keep your navel tight to protect the back. Take the left leg out to the side and straighten it. Try and put your foot on the mat. Finding a cat-cow pose. Inhale, drop the belly down, gaze goes up. Try to make sure that that ankle is in alignment with the hip. We don't want it way up and we don't want it way back. We want it right in alignment. Exhale, cat pose, tuck the tailbone, chin to chest, press away, hold. Inhale, gaze goes up. Cow pose, shoulders down away from the ears, tailbone points to the sky, belly drops down, yet you're pulling the navel in at the same time, active. Inhale, arch. Exhale, drop the belly. Inhaling, looking up. Exhale, arch the spine. One more of each, inhale up. And exhale, arch. Coming back to neutral, pull that left leg in. Moving into the other side, right leg goes out. Your foot can be flat on the mat. Make sure you're staying in alignment though. We want to make sure the left hip stays over the left knee and the right ankle's out, parallel to your mat. Inhale, drop the belly down. Gaze goes up for your cow pose. As you're pressing away, let the belly drop, let the tailbone come to the sky. Exhale, press away from your mat. Arch the spine, tuck the tailbone under. Feel that nice pose, stretching to the spine. Inhale, gaze goes up. Exhale, arch and press. Inhale, gaze up. Feel the opening here and exhale at your pace. Arch the spine, one more of each. Inhale, gaze up. And exhale, arch. Come back to your neutral spine, stack the knees underneath. As you're here, keep the palms where they are. Tuck the toes under, finding our first down dog. Press up and back with the hips. As you're in a down dog, your feet are about hips width distance apart. Palms are shoulder width distance apart. Press your chest towards your torso and thighs. Let your head hang so the biceps are framing the ears. No tension in the neck. You're not trying to look up or over or hold your head up. You're letting it hang. Think of pressing weight between the thumb and the index finger. Little to no weight on the outside of the hands, but more towards the internal medial side. So between the thumb and the index. Your feet are equally apart. Toes are grasping in. Pedal your heel one at a time down. Bend one knee, then the other. Feel the backs of the legs continue to open. As your head hangs, feel traction through the spine and neck. Find stillness for a moment. On an inhale, lift both heels high. Come to the balls of the feet. On the exhale, melt both heels down. Feel the backs of the legs open together. See how close you can get your heels to the mat. Inhale, come both heels up to the sky. Come to the balls of the feet. Exhale, melt both heels down. Feel the legs open. One more time here. Inhale up, balls of the feet. Exhale, melt them both down. Good. Gaze forward. Slowly walk your feet to meet behind your wrists for ragdoll pose, a forward fold.
Take your time getting there. Feet are hips width distance apart. Have a slight bend in the knees. Let the torso hang. Let the spine be long. Grab for opposite elbows. Let the head just be nice and light and heavy. No pulling on the head. No trying to look forward. Just letting the weight of the head be here, but let yourself feel light as you hang. No tension is here. Maybe a waver left to right. Shake your head, yes and no, up and down. See what you can let go of. Feel yourself present in this space. If you'd like to open your shoulders, take your hands, clasp them behind the low back, then let them fall over the back of the head. That's an option if you want to open the shoulders. Should feel good. Take one more breath here. And open mouth, exhale, let it go. Release your hands down. Let your arms hang heavy like gorilla arms. Let your neck just waver here. We're going to slowly roll up to my count, letting your head be the last thing to slowly come up at the end. One vertebrae at a time. Keep the slight bend in the knees. We start to come up for 4. Arms are just dangling for 3. Slowly, one vertebrae at a time for 2. Slowly bring the head and shoulders, roll them down the back on the 1. Stand up to Tadasana Mountain Pose. Anytime you're in Mountain Pose, make it active. Mountain is definitely something that you could slouch in and not be present, but that's not what we're here for. We're here to work on posture, so in everyday life, you're not slouching, but you're standing tall, elongating the spine. Think of your palms facing forward, thumbs roll back. Palms are nice and open like starfish hands, they're active. Feet have a sliver between them, maybe an inch or 2. Think of lifting your kneecaps up towards the sky. Tuck the tailbone under, pull your navel into your spine. Tuck your chin slightly. Pull your head, the top of the head as if it has a string on it is coming toward the ceiling. Pull the tailbone down and under. Feel that activation in your body. Your shoulders are down away from the ears and back. Think of shoulder blades almost pinching together. Roll the pinkies forward, thumbs come back, breathe. Close your eyes gently here. Take note of how your body's feeling so far as we're making it through class. Notice where you are mentally and physically compared to where you started. Get present, be here, let go. On your next inhale, bring your arms up overhead. Reach for the sky, let the shoulders drop from the ears. On the exhale, find a little back bend, a baby back bend. You can cactus the arms or bring your hands to low back for support. Go as far as what feels good. Maybe you gaze up to the ceiling. Maybe you go a little deeper. And inhale, come back up. On the exhale, swan dive, arms are open, forward fold. Notice my back is flat. Come all the way down, slight bend in the knees if you'd like. Inhale, find a halfway lift. On your halfway lift, pause. You want to make almost a number 7 with your body, or an upside down L. So notice my back is long and straight, my head's pulling toward the front of the room. Your hands can rest on your shins, your knees, or your thighs. If you have it in you, you can rest your hands on the mat. Tent the fingers, just make sure the legs are straight. Shift yourself forward 1 centimeter as if you're looking over a cliff. Feel the weight go into the balls of the feet. Take a breath here. And exhale, forward fold, slight bend in the knees. We've been here before. On your next inhale, reverse swan dive. Try and straighten the legs, pull yourself forward, all the way up, arms open and up, palms meet overhead. Exhale, the hands to heart center. We'll do that again. Inhale, open up. Exhale, back bend. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Listening for the changes. Inhale, halfway lift. Pull your hands to your shins. Remember, flat back. Exhale, plant the palms, step back to a high plank and hold. You're in your high plank, tuck your tailbone under, pull your navel to spine, make sure your shoulders are over the wrists. If this is too much, simply drop the knees. Keep the toes tucked. Shift yourself forward 1 inch, feel the heels go right over the balls of the feet. Breathe. Find strength and stability in this pose. We want 2 more breaths here. If you're having any kind of wrist issues, make sure the weight is going between the thumb and the index finger. That takes the pressure off the wrists. We're going to slowly go all the way down to our belly for 4. Keep the elbows tighten in for 3. All the way to the belly for 2. Untuck the toes on the 1. Top of the feet on the mat. Gazes down. Take a breath in. And on the exhale, find cobra pose. Lift your chest up, little to no weight in the hands. Gazes slightly forward. Keep the neck long, shoulders down. Feel the back muscles working. Exhale, melt the forehead to the mat. Big breath in. Big breath out. Next inhale, lift yourself up. This time, take the hands off the mat. Feel little to no weight anywhere but the tops of the feet and the low bellies pressing in. Exhale, melt down, forehead to mat. We do this one more time. Use those back muscles. Inhale, lift yourself up. Your lats are really working here. They're the ones that are right below the shoulder blades, around the shoulder blades. Lifting, lifting, lifting. And exhale, put your forehead down. When you're ready, tuck your toes. We're going to press up to a high plank and meet me in down dog. Inhale, press up. Exhale, down dog, meet me here. Good. Next time we flow through, we're going to flow 1 breath to movement in chaturanga. On your next inhale, gaze forward, bend the knees, balls of the feet. Exhale, step or hop to the top of your mat, forward fold. Inhale, find that halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, reverse swan dive, arms come all the way up overhead, gazes up. Exhale, hands heart center. Good. Inhale, arms come up overhead. Find your back bend. Exhale, cactus the arms or protect the low back and bring your hands there. Inhale, come back through center. Exhale, swan dive, open up, chest flows down, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, hands to shin or thighs. Exhale, plant your palms, flow through high plank to low plank, option to be on the knees. Inhale through your up dog here. When you're in up dog, tops of the feet are on the mat, chest shines forward, press through, open the chest. Thighs are off the mat. If it's too much, release them. And on the exhale, tuck the toes, push back, down dog. Breathe. Nice inhale through the nose. Open mouth, exhale, let it go. Inhale, gaze forward, bend the knees. Exhale, step or hop, top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive. Arms come all the way up, gaze follows. Exhale, hands to heart center. We're going to flow through that sun A one more time before we move on. Inhale, arms up overhead, gaze follows. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Take your time here. Inhale, halfway lift. Follow your breath to movement. Exhale, plant the palms, flow through high plank to low plank. Anytime you get to your up dog, you're inhaling. Take your time. Exhale, press the hips high, down dog. Good. Inhale, bend your knees, come to the balls of the feet. Exhale, step or hop, top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Listen for the changes. Inhale, chair pose. Chair pose, Utkatasana. We're sitting the hips down and back. Knees are just before the toes, so if you look down, you can see your toes. Your biceps are framing the ears. If that's too much, bring your hands to heart center. Sit nice and low, feel the quads ignite. Squeeze the knees together. Breathe here. Good. On your next inhale, sit deeper. Exhale, forward fold. Good. Inhale, halfway lift, find your shins. Exhale, find your flow through. Jump back high to low plank. Inhale through your up dog. Exhale, down dog. If at any point those become too much, you can always skip them and just meet me in down dog. but also take your time. No need to rush through. Use your breath, and flow to movement. On your next inhale, right leg goes high. Hold it here, then kick your heel to your right glute, open up that hip, but keep the shoulders square to the mat. Feel a nice hip opener here. See how close you can get your heel to your glute. Open up that hip nice and wide. Maybe straighten and bend the knee. Feel it open. Inhale, right leg goes high. Exhale, low lunge. Bring your right foot between the palms. Finding steadiness here. You're tenting your fingers. On your next inhale, warrior one. Spin the right foot down, the left foot down, 45 degrees. Inhale the arms up. Face yourself forward. Bring your hands to your hip and square your hips off to the front of the room. Pull the right hip back, left hip forward. If you struggle with warrior one, spread your feet apart a little more, make more space. Instead of them being close to being in alignment, they should be off. Breathe here. Sometimes warrior one is difficult because people's hips don't want to move that way. So just make sure you're about 45 degrees. Go a little deeper in that front leg. Arms are up, biceps framing the ears here. Shoulders are dropping away from the ears. Big breath in, drop a little deeper in the right hip. And exhale, plant the palms. Right foot steps back to meet the left. Flow through high plank to low plank. Inhaling through up dog. Exhale, tuck the toes, down dog. Inhale, left leg goes high. Open the left hip, bend the knee. Let the left heel come to the left glute. Feel that opening. Maybe you straighten and kick. Keep the shoulders squared off. So don't open up through the left. Keep your gaze down. Keep the left shoulder rolling down. Straighten the left leg, inhale, high. Exhale, low lunge, left foot between the palms. Find steadiness here. On your next inhale, warrior one, spin the back right foot down. Press yourself up, biceps frame the ears. Make sure that back foot, 45 degrees, bend in the left knee. Bring your hands to your hips. Pull the left hip back, right hip forward. Drop a little deeper, breathe. Notice where you are. Make sure if you're having problems getting your hips squared off, open your hips or your feet a little wider in your stance. Drop a little deeper. Bring your arms back up overhead, inhale. Drop deeper in the left leg. Exhale, plant the palms, left foot steps back to meet the right. Flow through, meet me at down dog, however you want to get there. Remember to inhale through up dog. And we're exhaling to down dog. Inhale, bend your knees. Exhale, step or hop, top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Make sure big toes are to touch here. Inhale, chair pose, Utkatasana. Biceps frame the ears. Sit deeper. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the palms, flow through high plank to low plank. Inhaling through up dog. Exhale, press back, down dog. Inhale, right leg goes high, bend the knee, kick the heel to the glute. Exhale, low lunge, right foot comes through. Inhale, warrior one, spin the back foot down. Exhale, warrior two, open up. When you're in warrior two, same thing, but that back foot's gonna go open a little more. You're about parallel with the back of your mat. Right knee staying bent, facing forward. Arms are reaching. You can bring your hands to the hips, make sure the left hip's pulling back. Right hip forward, reach. Gaze over your front middle finger. When you're gazing over, think the shoulders dropping down. Keep your tailbone tucked under. Keep the right knee rolling open toward the pinky toe side. That way you're not collapsing in. We want to be rolling open. Good. On your next inhale, reverse your warrior, reach for the back of the room. This left hand can rest on the back shin or behind your back, finding a small bind. Reach, reach, reach. Exhale, cartwheel the hands down.
Plant, right foot steps back to the left, flow through high plank to low plank. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, hips go high, down dog. Moving on to the other side, inhale, left leg goes high, kick the heel to the glute. Exhale, low lunge. Inhale, warrior one, spin the right back foot down. Exhale, open up, warrior two. Now remember, same thing, warrior two on this side. Your back foot's now parallel with the back of your mat. Your front knee's bending, but make sure it's not collapsing toward the big toe. Roll it open towards the pinky toe side. Tuck your tailbone under, reach your hands in opposition. Gaze over the left middle finger. Shoulders drop down and back. Reaching here. Try and sit a little deeper. Breathe. Feel these postures. If you're shaking, you're doing it right. On your next inhale, reverse your warrior. Reach for the back of the room or the top of the ceiling, whatever works in your body. Reach, reach, reach. One more breath here. Inhale. Exhale, cartwheel the hands down. Plant, left foot steps back to the right, high to low plank. Flow through your chaturanga. Meet me in your down dog. Good. Big breath in through the nose. Open mouth, exhale. Inhale, bend your knees. Exhale, step or hop, top the mat. Forward fold here. We're gonna flow through this one breath to movement on each side, and we'll move into some relaxing yin. Inhale, chair pose, hold here. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your palms, step or hop back, high plank to low plank. Inhaling through your up dog. Find yourself in your down dog. Inhale, right leg goes high. Bend your knee, kick your glute, feel that opening. Exhale, low lunge. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, open up, warrior two. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, cartwheel the hands down. Right foot back to meet the left, high to plank to low plank. Inhaling, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, left leg goes high. Bend the knee, kick the glute. Exhale, low lunge. Inhale, warrior one. Spin the back foot down, square the hips. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, cartwheel the hands down. Left foot steps back to the right, high plank to low plank. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog, breathe. Let's find ourselves in child's pose or embryo pose. Drop your knees down. Options here, child's pose. Knees go wide, big toes to touch, hips go back to the heels. Reach forward, forehead to mat. Embryo pose option, knees stay together. Hips sit back to the heels, forehead down, palms are facing up and run alongside of the body. So do the pose that works for you. Give yourself a moment. Take 2 nice deep breaths in through the nose, nice and slow. Find that open mouth, exhale, releasing, letting go. Both child's pose and embryo pose are great spaces to always be. Allow yourself to be there anytime you're feeling overwhelmed or you're trying to get back in connection with your breath. Nice deep breaths in. One more time. Finding your full exhale, release. Go ahead and bring yourself back up to all fours. Tuck your toes under, sit your hips back. Here we're going to start with a little toe stretch, moving back into some yin style poses. Keeping the toes tucked under, you can stay here. This pose is going to get a little intense, so allow yourself to go as deep or as far as you'd like. If you want more, sit yourself up and let your hips sit back on the heels. We're going to be here for a few breaths. The intensity might feel overwhelming. This is your challenge. Your challenge is mental. It's going mind over matter. The things you feel are all in your head. Allow yourself to melt away from any discomfort. When you find yourself getting comfortable with your discomforts, that's where you move to your next levels. The toes are igniting. Hands are just resting on your thighs. Sit up tall. Breathe. Your eyes might be closed. Make sure you're not clenching through your face. Yin poses can take you to a new level. What are we holding on to? What are we letting go of? We've got 2 more breaths here. Allow yourself to be in the space. What we're doing is cutting off circulation to our toes. And this next pose we're going to do is going to allow the blood to flush through these extremities. And we're going to allow ourselves to let go and let everything old and stale in our feet release. And let the new fresh blood flow in. Coming out of this, bring your hands forward towards all fours. Come out slowly, shift yourself forward, untuck the toes, and then let the tops of the feet meet the mat. Tap the tops of your feet lightly, slowly feel that. The circulation, the circulatory system is getting to those little tiny extremities that we forget about, our toes. Keep the tops of the feet on the mat. Doing an opposite stretch, sit your hips back. You're welcome to stay here if you have any ankle problems or toe problems. If you want more, sit up, bring your hands back. Maybe you stay here. If you want to get a nice little ankle crack and stretch, bring your knees up and feel that, all those cracks I just got. You can stay here. If you want to find a little balance, you can bring your hands to your tops of your knees. Feel this stretch. We're only in this one for about 2 more breaths. Just getting an opposite stretch in the feet and toes. It's so good for us. Last breath here. If your hands are on your knees, bring them back both behind you. Let your knees come down and slowly come out. Bring yourself forward, all fours. Lift your ankles and roll out. That should feel really good. Good. Moving into a nice frog pose. We're going to work inside the hips again. We did a lot of hip work in the beginning, so we should be feeling pretty open, but we're going to open up even more. In our frog pose, I'll show you from front and side. You're going to take your knees wider than your mat. This is where you're welcome to have a blanket if it hurts your knees. Then let your arches of your feet fall in, so the heels are falling in. Notice that my hips are in alignment with my knees. I'm not way up here, I'm back here. You can stay here and let the knees just slowly slide open. And the more you sit your hips back towards your heels with the knees wide, you're gonna feel a deeper stretch. You're welcome to use pillows, blankets. You can come down here to your forearms or even to your chest. Just make sure if you're coming down, your knees are staying wide and your hips and knees are in one line. We don't want to be way forward. Our hips need to be in alignment. Staying right here, breathing. These are your options, as deep as you want to go. Over time, the more you do this pose, eventually your hips will be open. You will be able to get down. You just have to work your way there. Everybody's pace is different. Take this moment to breathe into any tension and tightness and let it go. Find one more nice deep breath. Stay all the way through the exhale, release. If you're down, bring yourself back up. As you come out of this, it's best to kind of bring your feet together and then bring your hips back to your heels, almost like a child's pose starts, and then bring your knees together. Good. Now, go ahead and bring your knees together. Sit back, bring your legs out in front. Bring your feet flat to the mat, knees are bent. Take your feet to the outer edges. Broken bridge, sitting up. Let your knees fall in, back and forth. releasing those hips. Good. Bring your legs straight out in front of you. Sitting up nice and tall here. Flex your toes, legs are together. Options here I'll give you. You can reach for the toes. If you can touch your toes, perfect. But notice my back is straight and long. Most of us tend to slouch forward, trying to reach, and all we're doing is straining the neck and the thoracic spine. What we want to think of doing, if you can't reach your toes, is take your hands to your shins and slowly pull yourself forward. Other option, have your slight bend in your knees to start if you want to reach the toes. And then slowly start to straighten the legs over time. Feel the difference. Sometimes when we just abruptly go to our toes, we're doing too much and the body's rejecting it. When you bend here, grab for the toes there, slowly straighten, maybe one leg at a time, both at a time, all of a sudden you're in a new space. Your body's not feeling strained and stressed. Go ahead and go as deep as you can here. This is just staff pose, forward fold. Maybe you can rest all the way down. Breathing. Flex your toes back towards you so you can feel that really deep stretch. Go ahead and slowly work yourself back up however you came into it. We're going to widen the legs out, moving into pancake pose. Legs go wide, so be wide to beat your legs out. Flex your toes. You might just stay here. This can be a stretch in itself. I feel this already. If you want more, it's the same thing. Keep the back flat and straight. And then press yourself forward. You might come here. You might be able to come all the way down. So pancake pose is your eventual destination, which is all the way flat. This is something we slowly work into the same way I just talked about. This is something where you can keep your arms and slowly slide. And over time, you're going to get where you want to be in your final destination. Make sure your hips are staying down, your glutes are staying on the mat. Flex your toes, that protects the knees. Remember to breathe. Two more breaths, letting go and releasing. Check in with yourself. Are you clenching your jaw or your face? Allow yourself to release. It doesn't help to move tension from one area of the body to the other. On your next inhale, if you're down, slowly begin to walk yourself back up. Bring your hands behind you, slide the feet together. Then bring your feet back together as we did in the beginning of class to Supta Baddha. So with here, your feet are together, knees are wide. You can stay right here or start to pull yourself forward instead of backwards. Earlier we did it reclined, we're gonna go forward now from this side. Notice my spine, same thing. Start out nice and tall, grab for your feet, if you can, press your elbows to your thighs. If this is not comfortable or not feasible, go ahead and take your feet further from you. And that's going to give you a little more area to work with. The closer your feet are in towards you, the harder and more flexibility you might need. And then once you can, start to bring yourself forward. If your torso can meet your feet, then allow your head to rest. All these nice yin style hip openers. We're releasing a lot today. Getting deep inside the hips, we release those emotional, those mental, all those things, those struggles we might be facing. We're able to let go through this. One more breath here. Staying for your exhale. Slowly press yourself back up if you're down. Bring your hands behind you. Same thing, bring the knees together. Find that broken bridge. Bring your feet to the outer edges of the mat. Let the knees come together. Go left to right. Good. We're going to kind of finish up the way we started. We're going to go back through some of the yin poses we began with. So I want to see how your body feels in them now compared. So keep the knees bent. Bring your torso towards your thighs. Sit up nice and tall. Grab for the front of your shins or behind the thighs. Sitting up tall, shoulders down and back. Bring your hands now by your sides. Completely arch through the spine, round the spine, Keep your chin tucked. Slowly roll down one vertebrae at a time. Let your head be the last thing to come down. Hands by the sides. Place your palms down. Option for a block in this, we're going to go into our bridge pose. Bring your feet a little closer so your shin or your heels are a little closer to the glutes. You might be able to touch them with your fingers, but if not, just a few inches. Take a breath in. On the exhale, press your hips up. Keep your chin tucked to your chest. Palms are down. Maybe you lift your toes and feel the glutes. Maybe you tighten the glutes, or maybe you press and feel through the quads. This is where you're welcome to put a block if you want to just stay in this. You can put that there, or pillows. Find yourself in a resting yin position. If not, completely fine. Bring yourself back down for a moment. This time, bring your hands overhead, palms face up, reaching for the top of your mat. Press the tops of your hands in, and then press your hips back high. Make this as active or as relaxed as you want. Breathe. Pull your navel to the spine as you tuck the tailbone under, press up, and breathe. And release your hips back down. Bring your hands by your sides. Moving into your legs up the wall pose. I'm going to give you some options. You only have to go as deep as you want in this. We can move into shoulder stand if it's in your practice. You're welcome to use a block for this as well, or a pillow, but not necessary. So what we're going to do is take our legs up the wall. This is our starting point. Palms are by your sides. As you're laying here, we're allowing a reverse of blood flow. You could do this against a wall as well. This is great for any kind of anxiety or tension you're holding. What we're allowing is the heart rate to come down. The blood is flowing naturally by gravity out of your legs back to your heart. Whereas normally your heart's trying to do all the work, this is giving you a rest. If you want to go into shoulder stand or a supported, you can take the block and roll your hips up and put this on that flat part of your low back, the sacrum. You can stay here. If you don't have a block or a pillow or a blanket, that's fine. Use your hands, and you can bring your elbows a little closer and reach your feet to the sky. Tuck your chin, protect the neck. If you want, you can keep your hands flat and come all the way up. Breathe. Remember to breathe in this if you're in the full shoulder stand. If you want to go into cobbler's pose, plow pose, bring your toes behind your head. You can keep your hands low back for support, or keep them on the mat. Keep that chin tucked, make sure the neck is long, protecting it. Don't hurt yourself here. Breathe. These are just options. You can stay exactly where we started. These are just things to try. When you come out of this, bring your hands to low back, and you're going to roll one vertebrae at a time. Notice how I'm coming down, one vertebrae, keeping the legs long and straight, and then bend the knees. Everybody come down, feet flat on the mat, knees are bent. Good. Take a breath here. Open mouth, exhale. Bring your knees, both of them in towards the chest, where the armpits, spread them apart. Wind relief pose, roll out the ankles. Good, bring the knees together, bend to a 90-degree angle. Bring your arms out to a T like we did at the beginning of class. Take a breath in. And on the exhale, let both knees just fall over to the left. Keep your right shoulder down, you're on the left hip. Gaze to the right. Keep right shoulder down, left shoulder down. Knees are stacked, feel a supine twist. If you want that extra that we did at the beginning, straighten your right leg and grab it with the left foot, or excuse me, left hand. See how far you've come. I want you to notice how you're feeling now. We're doing the same poses we did at the start to finish. Do you feel more relaxed, more open? If you're holding the right foot, bend the knee again, stack them up. Now using those obliques, keep your hands out to a T. Try and just use the oblique muscles. Come back to center. Keep those feet and knees at 90 degrees. Breath in. Exhale, fall over to the right. Keep the knees stacked. Good. Same options here. You can straighten the left top leg. Grab it with the right hand. Keep the arms T, left gaze. Keep the left shoulder down. Breathe. Twists are nice and detoxifying, allowing your internal organs to release any kind of sludge or anything that's not serving you. It's just detoxifying. On your next inhale, use those obliques. Keep the arms teed. Come back through center. And bring your hands to the front of your shins. And then grab for happy baby. Grab the bottom of the feet or ankles. Rock left to right. Aligning the spine. Massaging the back. We're going to be moving into Shavasana. So when you're ready, release your feet or ankles, wherever you're grabbing. Pull the knees in. Bring your forehead to your shins or to your knees. Squeeze yourself. And when you feel ready, release into your Shavasana pose. Shavasana is your final resting corpse pose. We're only going to be here for a minute or two. I just want to give you a few minutes to let your body come down and release. Of course, you'll be welcome to stay in this space as it is your space. But when you're in this, I want you to scan your body here. I want you to notice how you're feeling. Your feet should be falling out naturally to the sides. Your hands should slightly be curling. Your eyes are nice and gently closed as they rest in their sockets. Notice if there's tension in the jaw or the tongue, release. And I'll bring you back here in about a minute. As you're in your Shavasana pose, like I said, you're welcome to stay, or you can begin to awaken the body. Massage your head left to right, awakening the nerve endings. Roll out the wrists, flex and point the toes. Slowly bring your arms overhead for a big good morning stretch, pointing the toes in opposite direction. Big breath in. Release on a big breath out. Hug your knees into your chest. You can fall over to the left or right to push yourself up to a seat or rock and roll along your spine. Meeting me in your seated position. Finishing out our class with palms pressed together at heart center. Finding gratitude for your own practice and for those that joined from all over the world. We came together, sharing energy from afar. Be grateful that you let go and move forward in your day and your life. Things that are not serving us weigh us down. What we need to do is move forward and let go. Change the things that we have control over and let go of the things we don't. Bringing your thumbs to a third eye center, a space between the eyebrows, space of intuition and open-mindedness. Open-minded with ourselves, open-minded to one another. Bowing forward, namaste.